Hello, thanks for joining me today, and welcome back to my Thaumcraft 5 series, episode number 4. I am out here in my backyard today doing a little bit of excavation and clear cutting. It's a shame because it's such a beautiful backyard, but we're going to need the space to build our infusion altar. And what I'm actually doing right now is I'm clearing an area that is 25 by 25. Just in order to maximize the stability of our infusion altar. Now, I did do another video recently in my FTB Unstable series where I very thoroughly covered the concept of stabilization and as it relates to infusion altars and how to make your infusion altar like totally stable. I'm going to cover a lot of the same stuff in this video. I really kind of went for absolute maximum stability. And we might not go quite that far this time, especially early on. So if you're not familiar with it, infusion is a crafting process in Thaumcraft, which involves an altar that we're going to build that has a whole bunch of pedestals on it. And the idea is that we put an object in the middle and we infuse that object with several other objects and some essentia in order to make a really cool object. And not only are the objects that we can make really cool, but the process of infusion itself has some nice graphical effects, and it can be a bit unsettling and unstable, which kind of adds to the whole thrill of the game. We're going to do a few infusions. For one, I want to make the Boots of the Traveler, which are going to help me travel faster. I'm going to upgrade our wand to a elemental wand core, and then from there we're probably going to upgrade to a silverwood wand with thaumium wand caps, but we'll actually need the elemental wand in order to craft that because of the amount of V that it takes to craft it. And then we're actually going to upgrade our Thaumium Essentia Smeltery, or we're going to upgrade to a Thaumium Essentia Smeltery, because right now we're using the Essentia, the first tier Essentia Smeltery, which is very inefficient. This one is faster and it's more efficient, so it doesn't lose as much stuff. And we're also going to get into elemental tools, which are some really freaking awesome tools from Thaumcraft. And also, just to let you know, I did upgrade to Thaumcraft 5.2.1. Most of the changes in Thaumcraft 5.2.1 don't affect things that we've already done. Some of the recipes that we've done already, like the plates, are now cheaper. 3 ingots yields 3 plates. It used to be that 3 ingots yielded 2 plates. The brass gears now just require nuggets, 8 nuggets, so less than an ingot, where before they required 4 ingots, which is cool because brass is, it's kind of expensive to make because of the water mostly. I always have trouble making the water and getting the water. The goggles of revealing now require brass, and it used to be gold. It didn't turn out as cool as I wanted it to, but that's okay. I want to move on here. I was spending a little too much time thinking about how I wanted to put this thing together, and then I just ended up throwing it together with some spruce. So we've got an arcane pedestal, which is made from arcane stone and some arcane stone slabs. The arcane stone is made from stone and any shard. I just used whatever shard I had the most of, and I made a whole bunch of them. And then we put a runic matrix 1 block above that. And then we put down just regular arcane stones on the 4 corners, stacked 2 high. And then we hit it with our wand, and I think we require, is it 50 of each V or something like that? Ta-da! There's our infusion altar. Hooray! Yeah, I would definitely like a different block for the floor here, but that's okay. This will be just fine. And then I made 10 arcane pedestals. Well, actually I made 11. One I put in the middle. The others I'm going to put symmetrically around this thing. So why don't we go 2 out, and let's see, let's go like that. So everything that we place around the altar has to be symmetrical with respect to the runic matrix at 180 degrees. So that basically means when we look at it at the diagonal, what's on this side needs to match exactly what's on this side. So I'm going to put these like this, and then I put one over here. Therefore, I'm going to put one over there. So this is symmetrical. This area is blank, and the area across from it is blank. This pedestal matches this pedestal, because remember, it's got to be on the diagonal. And it is therefore completely symmetrical. Check out the northern lights. Nice. That is so cool. So there we have it. I decided, and like I said, the area of effect, or the area within which the stability of the altar can be affected, is 10 blocks down from the matrix, 5 blocks up from the matrix, 12 blocks in each direction. I actually put little dirt towers just to kind of indicate that this whole area can affect the area. So we can fill this area up with little trinkets that will add to stability. And one of the trinkets that we can make, probably the cheapest trinket that we can make for this, is tallow candles, which are made from rotten flesh. So remember when I said in an earlier episode that you should save all of your mob drops? Well, this is one of the reasons. With your rotten flesh, you can make tallow. You can also make leather, which we are going to need a lot later. Actually, let's make 20 tallow. So it's going to need Ignis, so we're going to need a bunch of netherrack. Oh boy. I guess I'm going to the nether. Okay, got 20 tallow. Oh boy, we don't have enough string, do we? Ugh. So 2 tallow and a string make tallow candles. Vitreous from green stained clay vertical slab. Interesting. Wow. So that's different than the green clay slay. Green's clay. What the? It's different than the green clay. So, okay. Now we can take these tallow candles and we can place them strategically. Well, symmetrically around in order to improve stability. And let's see. And then we could have like shelves up there and place them up there. We could place them up on the top. Let's see. Why don't we just do these 4 corners? I think this is probably going to be enough for our first recipes that we're going to be doing. Yay, we can now start doing infusion. Alright, we're ready for our first infusion. Hooray! It's going to be the Boots of the Traveler. This has negligible instability. So we with all these tallow candles out here, we're going to be just fine. So we need 2 air shards, 2 enchanted fabric, a feather, and some kind of fish. And then leather boots in the middle. Just need to put those in the middle. And then everything else we've got out here. Now it doesn't necessarily matter what order you put the stuff in, as long as it's symmetrical. So as long as every object is across from an object, and the blank or empty ones are across from empty ones. And we do have that condition here, so this should be pretty stable. And then of course our tallow candles also need to be symmetrical, which they are. So we should be ready to go. And then we need 2 aspects. We need 25 modus and 25 volatus. I actually found that the doors are the best for modus. So I made a whole bunch of doors and stuck them in the Essentia smeltery, and we ended up with 38 modus. And then I have 50 volatus over here, which I just got from feathers. I had to go do some chicken hunting. And then I've got a few extra items on hand just in case something goes wrong. which it shouldn't, but you never know. There's always a chance that something will go wrong, and one of these items could get zapped. Usually when they get zapped, they just get knocked off, but sometimes they do get destroyed, especially when we get into the higher instability infusions. The thing in the middle will never get zapped, so we don't have to worry about that. We'll want to be somewhere where we can kind of keep an eye on everything. So right now it's pulling Volatus out of that jar, and then when it's done with that, now it says 0. It needs Modus, which is getting out of there. And we don't have any lightning strikes coming out of there. It's not wobbling, so it looks like things are pretty stable. Now it's going to suck the items in. This is my favorite part. It looks so cool. Nice. Hooray! Boots of the Traveler! I love the Boots of the Traveler. So now we can walk faster. We got step assist. We can sprint faster. We can jump higher. Whee! And we've got a little bit of fall damage protection. So when we run around with our grappler, we don't have to worry quite as much about getting hurt. We can also walk in water faster. And we can actually add haste enchant to these to make them even faster. So now we're going to make an elemental wand. The elemental wands are kind of our third tier. So first we had our basic, now we have our great wood wand core. The next are the elemental wands, and then the silverwood is next. We actually can't make our silverwood wand until we have an elemental wand because of the V cost. So the cores, they hold 375 V. Our current wand holds 250. And each one of them has some kind of a V discount. So this one has a 50% air discount. The blaze rod, or the blazing rod, has Ignis, which is kind of what you would expect. The obsidian rod has Terra, and so on and so forth. And they all require some item, a balanced shard, and then a shard to go along with whatever discount they have. I'm probably just going to go with the sugarcane, or the reed wand core. All right. I'm all set for our second infusion. I've got Potentia over here, which I already had all this stuff, so we already had everything we needed. We had some Modus left over from our last one, and a bunch of air. And then I've got the balance shard and the air shard across from each other, and the reed in the middle, or the sugarcane or whatever. This one has minor instability, but it looks like it's working out pretty well. I don't have my jars fully balanced, which I think is fine. Some people say it doesn't matter, other people say it does. In my experience, it does seem to matter, but not that much. Because I have noticed that for the higher instability infusions, that if I have my jars balanced, it does seem to help. Okay, and then I'm just going to make gold caps. Remember, the caps are actually what set the discount, and the gold caps are just, they don't give us a discount, but they don't have a penalty. So they are just fine. For this, for our basically temporary wand, as you can see, it has a capacity of 375. So now we have a wand that is sufficient for us to make our Thaumium Essentia Smeltery. Oh, insufficient V, because our wand is still charging. Oh boy. So we need 350 of each, and that's why our old wand wasn't quite sufficient. So I'm going to wait for my wand to charge, and then we're going to make this. When we use our Essentia Smeltery, we're going to end up getting more Essentia out of it, because we're going to be doing a lot of Essentia smelting in order to do more infusions. So hooray, Thaumium Essentia Smeltery. Just put that right there. Elemental tools. We've got Axe of the Stream. We've got Pickaxe of the Core. Sword of the Zephyr. 2 air shards, diamond, a greatwood planks, air, a versio, and modus. That used to be called telum, I think, but That we can get from arrows. So again, remember how I said you should save all of your mob drops. And you can get it from pretty much any weapon. So like the golden sword will have it. Set. Got a thaumium sword. We got 2 air shards. A wood plank. A great wood plank. And a diamond. And I've got some extras in here. And we've got our essentia over there. You can see we need 8 air, 8 modus, and 8... of that one. Whatever that's called again, I can't remember. It changed. But I used a couple of bows for this and some arrows that I got from skeletons. And keep in mind, another thing that can happen with instability is that it will take more essentia. Hooray! The Sword of the Zephyr. We can finally get rid of this stupid iron sword. So the Sword of the Zephyr. This guy, it has the same attack damage as an iron. Or is that gold? It has the same attack damage as a diamond sword. But it's highly enchantable like gold. And it has a few tricks. When we block, it does this little whirlwind thing, which causes mobs to blow away, even pigs. So if you've got a bunch of mobs around you, you can just block, and it'll make them all go away, and it'll make you float in the air. Isn't that cool? Of course, you do have to be careful about fall damage. If you go up too high, let's see. Yeah. But our Boots of the Traveler did take some of that damage. Go. So watch. It just throws him back. Isn't that cool? Which is really great if you've got a bunch of mobs after you. I almost forgot to showcase the coolest thing, or one of the coolest features of this Sword of the Zephyr. Arcing! Hooray! It has arcing to... Oh, and by the way, I did a little bit of enchanting. And I actually got the repair enchant. I am very excited about that because that is a really awesome enchant. It means that this thing's going to repair itself and I'm not going to have to keep remaking it. Alright, we've got a Thaumium axe in the middle. A great wood and diamond again, just like the last one. All the elemental tools require a great wood and a diamond. And then 2 water shards. This should give us the Axe of the Stream. We needed aqua and herba. Of course, I made the aqua with jars, with warded jars, and the herba I already had a ton of. A lot of stuff has herba. Hooray! Axe of the Stream. So this thing has 2 really cool properties. One, hey, what's going on? Hey, where'd the tree go? Hooray! It actually chops the tree from the top down, and it acts like a magnet. It has borrowing and collector. So this is great for cutting down big, huge trees, like if we want to cut down a greatwood tree. There we go. So it would really suck if we had to climb that thing and cut all that stuff down, but we don't. Just go like this, and it's breaking blocks from the top right now. It's trying to pull them to me, but I'm sure the leaves are in the way. It doesn't really matter where we hit it. Almost done. There. Hooray. Wow, that took a while. And it took like 10% of our durability. But you can see I got like 3.5 stacks, almost, of greatwood. Hooray. So we won't have to worry about greatwood probably ever again, just from that one tree. Time for the pickaxe of the core. Whoa. That was my grappler. So you can see we need 8 census, some metallum, and 8 ignis. The census I got from dyes. I actually just took a bunch of bone meal to my rose bushes in the front, and I just made dye from that, and it's pure census, so it's another clean recipe. And then we get our pickaxe at the core, which also has two nice features. It has sounding and refining. So the refining means, so when we break ores with this guy, we have a small chance, look at that, of getting these native ore clusters. Hooray! Which is the Thaumcraft doubling. So now we don't have to go through the process. It's a small chance though. We don't have to go through the process of doubling that now. And then the other thing is sounding. What this does is when we right click, it shows us where ores are nearby. I don't really know exactly how to make use of it because it's kind of a lot of information, and I don't really know how to tell like where the really good stuff is from that. But time for the shuttle of the earth mover. Got 2 earth shards. We needed Fabrico and Terra. Of course, Terra we get from just about everything. Fabrico we get from crafting tables. That's the best source of Fabrico. Okay, so far so good. Hooray! This guy it does the 3x3. And for our final elemental tool, we've got a hoe, a thaumium hoe in there. We needed some perdidio, some ordo, and herba. And of course, we've gotten all 3 of those things before. They're all pretty easy to find. Our ordo we're getting from chiseled stone bricks, and then the herba we're getting from like, well, everything: grass, saplings, ferns. The perdidio we're getting from cobblestone, which I've actually run out of. I've been using so much cobblestone. And then of course we have the diamond and the great wood plank, like all the other ones. And then we had a shard each, ordo and perdidio. It does a 3x3, which is kind of nice. And wait. It bone meals. Check that out, man. Right click right on the crop and it'll bone meal it. Isn't that nice? And it does take durability out of the weapon, so there's kind of a cost, but it's, you know, not a terrible cost. So there's one more thing I want to do today. Our shovel has this destructive thing, right? But our axe, no, not our axe, our pick doesn't. Wouldn't it be great if we could do a 3x3 with our pick? I think we can. I think I'm ready now. It took a while to get ready for this one. It's kind of expensive, but I've got my axe in the, or my pickaxe in the middle. Got TNT. We've got a knowledge fragment. This happens to be my only knowledge fragment, so let's hope nothing goes wrong with this infusion. And then we have an enchanted book. I just have a protection one. We can use any enchanted book. It doesn't matter what it is. And then we need a full tank, 64, or a full jar, 64 perdidio. And then we need 48 of this. Whatever it's called. Oops, no. So if we look here, we're doing an infusion enchantment. And there's several different enchantments we can do. And they're all things that actually the elemental tools, like all the properties that the elemental tools have, can be enchanted into any tools. So right now we are doing the destructive enchant, and we can put it in an axe, a pickaxe, or a shovel. We're putting it in our shovel, in our pickaxe. And as it says here, enchanted book, knowledge fragment, TNT, 48. This is moderate instability, and it's going to take a while because there's it requires a lot of essentia. So let's hope nothing goes wrong. In fact, actually, just in case, just to be sure, I'm going to grab a little bit of extra. And we don't have much extra, but Got just a little bit of extra Perdidio here, just in case something goes wrong. So let's get started. I'm really nervous because I don't want to lose that knowledge fragment. 106? What? Okay, so you can grab it. If you grab your piece out of the middle, it'll stop the infusion, but it will also give you some kind of bad effect. And in this case, I got the flux flu, so no big deal. I actually didn't see how much of this it needed, but I just saw 106. Wow. I'm thinking because this thing already has some like enchantment stuff on it already, so I guess I'm gonna have to do. I mean, it's just cobblestone, so it's not a big deal. Something I kind of glazed over before. The infusion increases by 33% for each property that it has. So for each arcane infusion. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna need more of this stuff, but let's just check really quickly. 78, yeah, we're gonna need more. Okay. Now we just lost a bunch. Crap. That's still full. Looks like we lost our TNT. Oh no, yeah, it got knocked off. That's okay. As long as we don't lose our knowledge fragment, we'll be fine. So I'm gonna have to make a bunch more of this stuff, which is kind of hard to make because you need weapons basically, or arrows. So I've been running around killing skeletons because skeletons drop, well, both arrows and bows. And it doesn't matter how much damage the weapon has. One more time. This time we should have enough of everything. Easily. Oh boy. We got a little bit of instability. You can see the kind of wobbling and stuff and lightning. Let's just hope it doesn't zap our shard. Stop that. This is a moderately unstable, or moderately unstable. Yeah, they're all moderate. So we may have to do a little bit more kind of stabilization stuff before we get into some of our higher instability infusions. Okay, we got all our telum. Yay! Whoa. Oh boy. This is not going well. It's been knocking things down like knocking things off like crazy. So we definitely have some instability issues with this altar. When we get into the higher instability stuff. So we'll definitely have to make some adjustments. I just hope it doesn't do anything to my shard. That would really... Oh, it just sucked it in. Oh, good. Oh, thank God. Hooray! That was really frightening. It knocked off the shard. It knocked off the TNT like 3 times. I got flux flu. And the... Oh, man. Yeah. But we now have destructive sounding 2 and refining 1. So now we can do some serious mining. Oh crap. I guess I shouldn't carry that around when I'm opening and closing doors because it actually takes some of the durability when it does that sounding thing. And I don't know if you can repair these things. I think you actually have to make another one, and then you can combine it in an anvil to get all of your enchants and stuff back. Whoa, okay. Here we go. Let's try this guy out. Hooray! We have a hammer. Ooh, And we have some diamonds. Nice. Look at that. It already paid off for us. Nice. And we're also going to get native clusters sometimes. And what else? Oh, and we get have the sounding thing where it can tell us where things are. I don't see how that is very useful though. I mean, like, okay, so there's, you know, ores everywhere. Yeah, I mean, I kind of already knew there were ores everywhere, but... Hooray! Oh, wow. Nice. Well, our little infusion altar is going to grow between now and the next episode. I am actually going to expand out to the areas that I have blocked. And we're going to make a whole bunch more of the tallow candles so that we can stabilize the altar a lot more, because, I mean, we did one moderate infusion today and it was almost a disaster. In the next episode, we're going to be doing some high instability infusions, which are going to include the thermostatic harness. This is going to allow us to fly. Hooray! So we'll have flights. And then we're also going to end up doing the thermostatic girdle. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but the 6-sided things like that, if you click on them, you don't have to do research, but it takes some XP from your XP. And you actually also earn XP when you do research. So that is pretty cool. And then we're going to do the thermostatic girdle, which is a very high instability infusion. So we're going to want to make sure we have a very, very stable altar. There's one other thing we're going to need in order to do our thermostatic harness, and that is this morphic resonator, which requires a tainted shard. So we're going to be playing around a little bit with taint in the next episode. Ooh, those boots look cool. They're like green and stuff. The boots of the traveler. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please don't forget to click the like button, and if you do have any questions or comments or anything else, or you just want to say hello, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.